that you're there and you can hear me. I can see Danielle and I can see Violet. Thank you very much for being here again, ladies. Lovely to see you. Please say hi in the comments and let me know where in the world you are today, what's your weather like, all that kind of thing. I know you two already, and so I know you're repeat offenders. Fantastic, Violet. Thank you for letting me know. It's always good to have that bit of information. I have been presenting all day today, like not some of it unexpectedly actually. So you're my third. This is my third presentation. No, it's my fourth presentation of today. So I did a live earlier on another platform. I got a call last night from a man I know who does some helps people to build like memberships and stuff. And he suddenly had to go for some eye surgery, and he asked me to do his training for him out of the blue. So I was like, yeah, what the heck, I'll do that. So I did that at 9 o'clock, and then I've just been at a lovely ladies networking event, and I've been sharing my story there. So yeah, this is my fourth presentation of the day, which is great, isn't it? Like, and yeah, some of that a bit unexpected, but great fun. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, well, Violet, if you've just got up, so of course, but it is, it's actually only lunchtime, to be fair to me, and I've already done 4 presentations. I might need to just lie in a darkened room for the rest of the day, but I'm not going to do that because I've got some clients and things to speak to this afternoon, which I'm really looking forward to. Well, it is what it is, Violet, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Hello, Natalia. What a beautiful name. Here from Texas. Fantastic. Let me know what time it is where you are. It's 8:12 a.m. in New York. Yeah, because you're a 5-hour time difference, aren't you, with us in the UK? Let me know where you are. I can see lots of familiar little faces bobbing along at the bottom. I always like to see faces that I've seen before. It's all lovely. So welcome to this session. We're going to be talking about resilient relationships today, and I've got a fair bit to say about people and my relationships with them. They've been a barrel of laughs throughout my life. It's not felt like a barrel of laughs a lot of the time. So we'll have an exploration of how this 3 principles understanding can really help you in your relationships, like unbelievably so, I think. You see, I am a morning person, but at the moment, Violet, I'm a bit too much of a morning person. I'm not enjoying it at all. My body keeps waking up at really quite stupid o'clock. Before seems sensible, really. So I'm not happy with waking up so early at the moment. So if you've not come across me before, then let me know that in the comments too. It's nice to have new people here. I'm just trying to I have this little thing called a remarkable, where I make a few notes of things I want to say, and I can't find somewhere to put it today. Hello, Julie from Surrey, I remember. Nice to see you here again. You're quite close to me, relatively speaking. Well, relative to Texas and New York anyway, that's for sure. So glad that you've come back. Oh, hello, Claudia. Welcome. Nice to see you again. And Marie, thank you so much. Oh, grab a bit of me while driving. That's so lovely. I love that. Thank you so much. So, I'm known as the Queen of Calm, and I'm a human potential catalyst. And what that means is that I help people to be the truth of who they are, to access their full potential, to I think a lot of the time to realise what's actually available to all of us, that we're not brought up to really look for and see, and that we spend a lot of our time in our psychology, and therefore we completely miss the truth of who we are, that we are unbelievable, special, amazing human beings. So that's what I'm here to point out, and I'm here to help you to see where our psychology as human beings can get in the way of us seeing that, because that absolutely is what's happening all the time. We're not what we think we are, is the truth of it. We think we're something lesser than a lot of the time. We have that inner critical voice. We have the imposter syndrome going on. We judge ourselves. We're do a lot of comparison, those kind of things. And as a result of all that thinking, we just don't see that we are, in fact, the universe, God, everything. And that's what we're powered by. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm so glad you found it helpful your first time. You've come back for more, which is lovely. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Lovely to see you here again. So I teach something called the three principles, which is a really simple understanding of how the mind works, which I came across by accident, just through a friend of mine in January 2020. And it is, there's a number of joys of the three principles. So it gives you a really simple way to understand thoughts, feelings, behaviour, all those things that if we're into self-development, and I know I'm in a room full of people who are into self-development, and I am getting the hearts up the side, that kind of tells me that's true, but please do share in the comments if you've been round the block a little bit with self-development. I certainly have. That we're trying to address those things, aren't we? We're trying to fix our thoughts, fix our feelings, and fix our behaviour. A lot of the time we think that there's something wrong with us, and the biggest problem is that we think there's something wrong with us actually, but we don't really understand the system that we're playing with. It's like we're trying to operate the television with the washing machine instructions, so we get it all becomes a bit messy. And I think one of the real telltale things that points us to this confusion that human beings are living in a lot of the time is a number of hits you get when you go looking for, we're talking about resilient relationships, but let's just say you search for how do I have a better relationship, or how do I feel more confident, or how do I feel more resilient. I guarantee you will find 100 million, hundreds of millions of hits on that. Why? Because mostly people are sharing and they found something that helped them a bit, so they're sharing that with completely good meaning and from a lovely place, from a kind place. But the reason there's so many ways, it seems, to fix ourselves, not that we really need to be fixed. Thank you so much, Jennifer. That's really, really kind already. Thank you so much. The reason there are so many ways to do these things is that for the majority of people we just don't have the instruction manual, so there's some confusion. It's a bit like if you put an alien in a car and they knew nothing about cars, but they've kind of seen some people driving about. They might just sit there and go like this, or they might sit there and pick their nose, or they might sit there and play with the radio knobs, thinking that they would make the vehicle move, and they could sit there a long time trying all sorts of different things. But what most of us need is somebody to sit next to us and say, right, you have to put the key in the ignition, you have to turn the key. This is how it works, this is how this thing works. And once somebody sat with us for a while and showed us how it works, then we can start to do a little bit on. And we might still make the odd mistake, and then the person will say, hey, hang on a minute, you need to make sure you indicate and you use your mirrors or whatever it is. But now, those of us that can drive, or those of us that can do anything else we've learned intuitively, we just kind of do it, we don't have to think about it. We just kind of do it now without thinking. I think I drive now, and I get, when you get to somewhere and you think, no idea how I got here. I'm alive and I'm in one piece. And it's just because it's become part of a deep embodied understanding we have about driving. And what I do is I sit next to you while you spend some time learning the instruction manual of the human experience, which is explained in these three principles, which are thought, consciousness, and mind, universal mind or universal intelligence. And if you want to know a little bit more about just the background of that, then please do check out the free track, which is called What Are the Three Principles and Why Do They Bring More Ease to Life? But that's a really simple track that just helps to give you a bit more background. Mostly in these talks I talk about the implications of the three principles. I might actually do a course on the implication of the three principles at some point. which just helps you to see that because of the three principles, there's some things about how life is and how it works that you can start to see. So, well, yeah, there is a bit of that going on, Claudia, definitely. Yeah, I think most of us don't know that there is an instruction manual. We're just kind of fumbling our way through, aren't we? But the system, our system, the human system, is built for maximising our potential. It's a guided system. We have internal guidance. I've just been on a networking event with a lady who calls herself the human GPS. And I would say that we all have that. We've all got a human GPS. We just don't know. It's screaming at us sometimes and we don't know it's doing that. So in these conversations, we talk about that. We talk about what's going on in our psychology, where our experience is coming from, how we can navigate life with more ease. And I work with women in the main to help them to do this with more ease. And over a period of time, doing that and spending time with me, people do begin to be able to do that more automatically. So I see that quite a lot of more people have come in since I started. Please do say hello. My name's Clare and I'm known as the Queen of Calm, and I'm currently in my house in Leeds. But next week and the week after quite a bit, and the week after, I'm going to be away a lot in the motorhome. So if you don't already know, I have a motorhome called Trevor, and Trevor and I and my fiance go pottering around the country, and we're doing quite a bit of that over the next week. We're actually having a holiday next week, but I will be coming on here a little bit, maybe not as much as normal. Yeah, well, we don't need to rewrite the instruction manual, I would say, Claudia. We can't really rewrite the instruction manual. The instruction manual is the same for every single human being. And what I'm describing is how life works. We all have different thinking. We all have different ways of being because of that. But the fundamentals of how it works, how those three pieces of the human experience, all those three things, the three principles come together to create our experience, it's the same for everybody. And you can't change that, but you can change your relationship with it. You can have a better understanding of it, and when you have a better understanding of it, you have a better experience of life. So I've been a teacher on Insight Timer, it turns out since 2018, although I don't really remember doing it in 2018, if I'm honest. I don't remember signing up, but it says on all my stuff that I did. But I've been much more active this year in the last few months, sharing on here. I have a theme each month. The theme this month. The theme this month is revealing your true potential. That's what we've been looking at, and we'll be finished with that this week because this month is ending on Friday, believe it or not, the month of June. And I now have 2 courses that are live now. We have Calm, Balance and Clarity with Ease, and Revealing Your Full Potential with the 3 Principles. That's the course that links to what I'm talking about in these sessions at the moment. There's also loads of free content, and there's loads of free content. There's a few paid tracks, premium tracks, and the 2 courses. The next course is called Stress to Success, a 3P approach to effortless productivity, and that will be out on Thursday. Hurrah! It's been approved. I got the email this morning, and I got it approved much faster now. I've got the handle, I've got my mic with all its little hat on and everything, and and as a result, my courses are getting approved much quicker, which is super exciting because it was at the first couple of times it was quite a tough thing to get them approved, but this time I've got the editing process off to pat, and they get out quickly. Violet, that would be lovely. I would love to see you on my courses. The great thing is that there's little spaces to interact with me and have conversations with me and share your insights with me, and I'm always game for having those kind of conversations. So please do your courses and use that as a space to have your own little private conversation with me about what you might be seeing and what you might be learning. So next, I haven't been in my van since maybe last Monday. I lose track. We're in and out of it so often these days. Yeah, last Monday I was live in the van. I think by last Tuesday, like just over a week ago, I was home again. Been home for a week or so. But I'll be there. Oh, see, that's brilliant. Do you think you'd lost me? I'm here. Please do put your please do follow me, because then you'll find it easier to find all my stuff again. That's great. I'm so glad you're back, see. That's brilliant. Wonderful. So the theme next month is productivity. I'm just outlining the tracks and the lives and the things that are going to come on next month to go alongside that course. So that's going to be really cool. So thank you. Oh yes, so you were out in your camping in your van too. Fantastic. I love it. Have we got any other fellow motorhomers and campervanners? So thank you so much, Jennifer, who's already made a lovely donation today. That's lovely. Thank you. So I use the word lovely, but I do think lots of things are lovely. I use that word a lot. So thank you so much. And if any of the rest of you are able to make a donation, I of course am super grateful for those. They're helping me to. They're supporting me really to share this understanding. I really do see that there's a potential for human transformation on an unbelievable level if enough people start to understand that this is how life works. And I'm super excited to be here sharing on Insight Timer. So if you are able to make a donation, I'm utterly grateful for that. Thank you so much. So this week we've looked at taming the inner critic, we've looked at revealing inner calm, both from a Three Principles perspective. If you missed those sessions, they are now on a playlist on the link in my bio. Go to my bio, follow me, click on the link. Down there somewhere there is a list of like a playlist on YouTube where you can go and listen to the catch-up recordings. So today, building brilliant relationships. Resilient, not brilliant. Oh, they're brilliant and resilient relationships. My tongue got tied up there. Building resilient relationships with the Three Principles. So I think I love the concept really of a resilient relationship, because life happens, doesn't it? Like, you know, my fiance and I, we don't agree on everything all the time. I'll be honest with you. Usually he gets things wrong and I'm right. Anybody else have that experience with their other half? Of course we do. We think we're right, don't we? That's why we stick to our guns all the time. So yeah, and I'm laughing because I don't really see it that way. I know that I'm not right all the time. I'm just quite I'm quite in love with my own opinions sometimes. Violet's laughing too. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one confessing. I've got warmer now. Good. Because I've been cold this morning. Claudia. Yeah, me too, Claudia. You see, we're all confessing to it today, aren't we? Being right. So, Rachel, I've never heard it said like that. That's what I would say. Everyone's entitled to my opinion. And it's a gift, isn't it, Rachel? You know, it's a gift, our opinion and our rightness. I mean, people should be grateful that we're here sharing our wonderfulness. Thank you, peace. So I still hold my opinions very dearly, but maybe not quite as much as I used to. And I don't get quite so upset about them, but I really did used to. My pattern was, not just with the people close to me, but with just every Tom, Dick and Harry I came across. Like I went, and you know, some Ritas and Sues and Karens as well. You know, it didn't really matter that people. I used to look at the world and think, why do people not do it right? What's wrong with them all? From everything from people who drove in the wrong way, people who left dog poo on the road, people who didn't speak to their children. And I mean, as a head teacher, I used to get really up in my head about parents. You know, there's a right way to parent, there's a wrong way to parent. Absolutely, fundamentally, I still can go there with that one. That's definitely true. And I have my stories about why it's right, of course. And I used to get really, really upset. Oh, that's brilliant, TJ. Yeah, they'll disagree on 70%, probably. Oh, that's interesting that even with identical twin daughters, they disagree on things. Brilliant. I love that. Well, you're more evolved than the rest of us, Claudia. I do too, really, if I'm honest. So I used to get very upset. I used to get angry. I mean, let's be honest, folks, my children learned how to swear in the back of the car. That's where they learned to swear. I didn't swear that much, but if I was going to swear, that would be where it would happen. Because what is it like? What is wrong with other people's driving? There's just so much terrible driving out there. So I used to focus a lot on that, and I used to really get upset with people. Myself and my ex-husband used to have some humdinger rows. Like, that's what we mostly did towards the end, to be fair. And when I say towards the end, I mean like that's probably the second half of our 20-year relationship was mostly us arguing. Hello Fanaz, nice to have you here. So I spent a lot of time butting heads against other people and feeling terrible and shouting a lot, getting angry and upset. But also I went through a phase of being passive aggressive, so I was like really, really calm and used to speak like this while my husband was shouting. My ex-husband was shouting and I was just like seething inside, but managing to do this kind of calm persona thing, which was also rubbish because I wasn't calm at all. I was livid, but I was just trying to be better than him because he was shouting. So my relationships were, I don't know, like up and down a lot, really up and down a lot. Now, the thing that I really, really used to think very strongly was that other people made me feel things. So all of my relationships were built on that premise, that misunderstanding. And that is such a fundamental misunderstanding. I mean, how often do we say, so-and-so made me feel angry, so-and-so made me cry, so-and-so made me happy even, so-and-so's making me feel very frustrated, they did this and then I felt that. We propel, don't we, out into the outside world and we talk about it. That's how it's said. It's how it's said about everything, whether that's other people or the news or social media, or we talk about this outside in idea, which is a misunderstanding. Yes, it's programmed, definitely, Claudia. It's definitely it's just the way we speak about it. I don't know, when did human beings, have we always been this outside in, confused population, of, this species, outside in, confused species? Have we always been that? I don't know, really. But we definitely are now. So this is what I see happens, and it happened to me. Yeah, that's what we think, don't we? Not just other people, but circumstances and, the news and all the things out there. All the things out there are responsible for how we feel. That's what we've been told. That's what it looks like. We've been brought up in a society, in a world with a species, with the human species that says, yep, that's it. That's what's causing our feelings. That's why we feel the way we feel. That's just it. That's true. And of course, it really does look that way, doesn't it? If you're getting upset and somebody, if you're doing something and you get upset every time that person does that thing, of course, it really looks like it's that person, doesn't it? Because you don't see in that moment that that's a habitual reaction. It's just a habit. And that person doing that thing is somehow connecting to our brain on a level of familiarity. So it's a bit like, and I heard a teacher share this the other day and I really liked it, but that game that you play with children, or you probably played, it's called pairs. So you put a load of cards face down, little playing cards, and they've all got a picture on. So there's 2 ducks, there's 2 mugs, there's 2 flowers, whatever. And the aim of the game is that you turn over a card, say it's a flower, and then you turn over another card, it's a duck. So you put them back down, but you're trying to find the other flower, you're trying to match all the time. And after a period of time, your brain starts to remember, oh yeah, I remember that somebody else picked up a flower and they picked up a mug and they put them down. Now I can remember where the 2 flowers are. So I remember I pick up the 2 flowers. your brain is doing that all the time. It's trying to find familiarity, because familiarity helps us to structure our life. It just makes life easier. Yeah, is it safe? Is this like one of my tribe, or is this not like one of my tribe? Is this a safe situation or a not safe situation? So all the time our brain is trying to pair up, trying to make sure that it keeps us safe. So when somebody behaves in a way, and they're in front of us here, and they're behaving in a certain way, that our brain is going, right, what's that like? Oh, that's like that time when so-and-so did something to you in the past, probably when you were a child. So your brain goes into this automatic, your brain, not you, your brain. Please understand that that's not you. Your thinking, your psychology, or the psychology that is occupying your brain-body system, does a thing. It's just got a habit. It's like a needle stuck on a record, for those of us that remember records. It's like a needle stuck on a record, and it just keeps repeating that reaction. The trouble is that we've been experiencing that reaction for such a long time that it really does look like it's that person causing the thing, because every time that person does that thing, it's so automatic that we don't even know it's happening. We don't know that it's not coming from the outside, because it happens every time that person does that thing, I feel like that, so it must be that person that's causing the feeling. That's what we think. Wrongly, that's what we think. It's learned, Claudia, I would say. It's become automatic. It isn't the essence of who we are, but it's learned. It's stuff that we've learned from way back, from when we were children onwards. We don't have to poke around in that, but we can just acknowledge that we're in a habitual pattern of reacting, and it is reacting, that's just been learnt through our childhood. And I think what we all want really is a response. We all want to, when we're with other people, when we're in relationships with other people, what we really want is to be able to respond, not react. We want a bit of space. We want to feel calm when we're dealing with other people, don't we, as a rule? And we also don't want to be buffeted about by other people's behaviour. Anybody here want to not be buffeted about by other people's behaviour anymore? To be able to be calm no matter what crazy other people are doing? I know that's been huge for me, to be able to be like that. I think we all want that, don't we? We all want to just be at peace when we're around other people and be calm. Oh, that's lovely, TJ. I've never heard that before. That's beautiful. Really lovely. Thank you, Julie. Yes. Yeah. See, Violet. Thank you. Yeah, it's that's what we really want. And we can get that when we start to understand what's happening inside us better. And so this is what's happening really. Hopefully you're starting to see a little bit of it. We're going into this automated reaction. Now, when we first experience some behaviour, some body's behaviour usually, we react. We initially feel a feeling like that is not, you don't get to control that. That is the old, it's the habitual, it's the stuck, it's not stuck, but it's just doing its thing. And there's a moment there where we either think it's that person or we realise it's us. The truth is that it's us. The truth is that in that moment when we have that kind of amber warning light, we feel that initial feeling, that's not coming from them. They're not making us feel anything. That's our warning system. And some of you will have heard this story before, but I remember the very first time I experienced this was, so my fiance's got a little boy who's 11, and his mum has these, used to have, she doesn't really have them anymore, she used to have these Sunday night rants via WhatsApp. So we'd have a lovely weekend. We think we've had a lovely time with the child. It's been really nice. He's had a fabulous time. He's gone back happy. He didn't really want to go home. He would prefer to stay and have a lovely longer time. Oh, do I have to go home? So we know we've provided him with a safe, lovely environment to be in over the weekend. But at some point over the weekend, we would have done something wrong in her eyes. So he goes home. He's just chatting about his weekend. He's happy. But at some point he says something and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like what we've done over the weekend. And so I think she usually waited till he went to bed and then she would send us a long, ranty WhatsApp message. So one weekend we use natural skincare. We're really into natural skincare. We use Tropic skincare products usually. We absolutely love them. They're so lovely and natural. We like to use natural things. And he'd come to our house with a bit of eczema and some emollient cream. And I said, we've got this thing called Tamanu balm, which smells like curry. If you've come across Tamanu, it's an amazing healing substance. It's made out of some kind of nut or something. Anyway, we've got this Tamanu balm, and I said, why do we put a bit of Tamanu balm on that rash? Because I think I've seen it get rid of stuff, and I've used it on myself and seen like horrible little dry patches and stuff like disappear overnight. So Ethan, of course, asks us, why are you using this cream on me? Why are you not using what Mum said? And we said, well, we like natural things and we'd like to try this on you because we think it might be really good for you and it get rid of the rash. And we explaining to him really that we have a different viewpoint to Mum and that's okay. We didn't say she was wrong. We didn't say we were right. We just said this is how we do things. And he's really into the environment, this kid. He's a kid who goes picking up rubbish in the park because he's just really into the environment and stuff. So we know he's already got an interest in that kind of thing. So I explained all this to him. Anyway, by the end of the weekend, the rash had nearly gone. Sent him home. And we get the Sunday night massive ranty message. Now, that's just one example, and I don't even remember the particular message that where I really saw that it wasn't her, and it was my thinking about what she was doing. So that would be funny for Naz actually, but I don't really care. I'm past caring, quite frankly. If she hears this, I'd actually like her to hear it. So the message came in, long ranty message, why we should have used the other cream and not used the natural cream. What we're doing, we're undermining her, and it was all about that kind of thing. That was that particular message. But anyway, one Sunday night, the ranty message comes in. And I remember reading the message and feeling this initial feeling of, oh God, she's at it again. You know, that kind of frustration. Don't ask me what I try not to label feelings anymore, but it was not comfortable. And I remember that previously I would have gone straight on my phone and straight back at her. How very dare you, you're out of order, blah, blah, blah. And that particular occasion, I heard a voice in my head, a little voice that just said, you're not really in a fit state of mind to answer that message. You're not, your mind's not clear. You're not in a good state of mind. And it was so clear. It was so clear. You're not in a fit state to reply. And I think at the point when I read this message, we were in the kitchen, we were making an evening meal, and I put my phone down and I actually left it in the kitchen, I think, that particular day. And we went and ate our evening meal and chilled out, watched a bit of telly. And later on I read it again and I just thought, oh, that's just somebody who's upset. I can't stop her being upset because that's to do with her. But also, I don't have to take it personally. That's somebody else's upset thinking. And I just saw it. And I felt a lot of compassion for her, actually. I found that's been transformational in my relationship with this woman, is just seeing her through the eyes of compassion a lot more. Yeah, Claudia, thank you for that. That's really kind. Thank you, Elaine. That's really, really generous. Thank you. Yeah, and Julie, well done for, like, sometimes I can get that, even seeing her, like Bruce says, we used to be in a group chat, but she then refused to be in the group chat anymore. So now I read the messages on Bruce's phone and I reply, because he struggles to articulate exactly what he wants to say. But when we do reply, I do the typing anyway. So it's completely pointless. Apart from it's just made it an extra thing for us to do. But I know I see Bruce's face when he's received a message. I see his face and I go, oh, what? Straight away I feel it. So that's brilliant, Julie, to even notice it before you even read the message, just leaving it and coming back to it later on. But also it's realising that we've got, so what we're feeling when we feel that initial reaction is not the other person. It's our state of mind. I think, Jennifer, that's a great question. I try not to. I can't say I'm successful all the time. But because I think the label is just extra thinking. And an emotion has about a 90-second lifespan. But as soon as there's thinking about it, it revs it up more, so it lasts longer. So I just don't feel inclined to do that anymore, because I think it's more noise in my head, and there's, at the point at which I'm feeling something like that, it's already noisy in there. It doesn't need any more noise in the system. And also because those words are made up, aren't they? They're just human beings. So if I call something anxiety, I'm immediately giving it a great big ton of stuff. Like, what does that mean, and what's wrong with me, and how do I get rid of anxiety? It just gives it more layers. And really what we're doing here in this conversation is subtractive psychology. We're looking towards having less on our mind, not more. So yeah, Jennifer, I like that. Yeah, I just sort of go, good state of mind or poor state of mind. And when I do still, when I get to red, it's invariably too late. So then I have to be just really kind with myself, Jennifer, that I go to red sometimes. On Sunday, we were doing some decluttering, Bruce and I was just in a right old grumpy mood. Partly because he was doing it all wrong, of course. Which, if you've been here from the beginning, you'll know I'm joking, and you'll know that I spent many years being right, and still kind of think I am. So I kind of, when I get to red, it's amber that's really, really powerful. If we can see it, oh, hang on, amber warning light. Here's an icky feeling. Just call it an icky feeling. It's not nice. I know my state of mind it's my state of mind that. I've started calling it a lie detector, because I pretty much guarantee it's a lie, what you're thinking in that moment. It's a should, it's a somebody shouldn't be like that, or somebody should be better or different to that. If it's about people, it's usually around a should or something. It's a lack of acceptance. I do think that we're feeling resistance often at that point. So here's how we think life should be. This is how life really is. We're not feeling how life really is. We're feeling the resistance between what we think it should be like and what it actually is like. So the lack of acceptance is that friction. That's the amber feeling, I think, Jennifer. Is our thinking's gone to, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. It needs to be different. That person's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. It's out of order. Yeah, I think those feelings, you could describe them with colour. I would say that's too much for me to do. I've got really lazy in terms of this whole well-being malarkey and self-development. I've just got really lazy. I can't be bothered to do most things now. The simpler, the better. The less is more. Less is more here. Yeah, thank you, Wendy. I think they really do. I think the labels of anything make it more sticky, don't they? Really, really, really. Yes, it is aging. Definitely. I am 52. I was on a call this morning, the random training I didn't know I was going to do this morning for a friend. And the young lady who was helping me, the virtual assistant who was helping me, I said I was 52, and she was like, "You're not 52." So it is. I feel like I've aged backwards since I left teaching and since I stepped away from stress and don't really get stressed anymore. I'll be honest with you. It seems to have gone, which is lovely. So I'm just going to say hello, and I know I'm saying hello near the end, but I've just noticed there's lots more people coming. I do like to do these lunchtime ones. It's a really nice turnout. So thank you so much for being here, and please do say hi in the comments. Let me know if you've been before, and if you're new, and if you're new, please go and follow me. Please check out the link on my bio. You'll be the first ones then to know when the new course comes out. It's coming out on Thursday. So not this Thursday, a week tomorrow. Well, see, that's a really, really good question. Because I did the whole dating thing, bless you, when I split from my husband. I've been with my fiancé. It'll be 8 years a week on Friday. Oh, and we've been engaged for 5 years a week on Friday. We probably should get married, but we're happy anyway, so it's fine. Oh, see, I just think don't go in with a plan. I wish I'd known this when I was dating, because it nearly made me crazy until I met Bruce, of course. But I had a right old time with dating, and had a lot of thinking about it, and a lot of thinking about how my value was wrapped up in it. But I think just turn up and be yourself, and know that just be aware of where your thinking's going. The more present you can be, you'll just know what to ask. You'll know what to ask, and I think connecting with somebody on that really present level is much more likely to I like that. I like that. He could be a lovely balance. A lovely balance that. See, one of you being. I think it's lovely. Something that Bruce and I have really realised is that we know what each other is good at. I used to, with my ex-husband, try to make him be like me, which would have been two crazy people in one household, which wouldn't have been very good. But with Bruce, I see that there are things he's really good at, and there are things that I'm good at, and we try to do some good. It's a bit like if you had a business and you had, you wouldn't have the person who's doing your social media doing your manufacturing. Do you know what I mean? It just would be silly, because they wouldn't be good at those things. And I think in a relationship, you're trying to create something that's a partnership, not two people trying to make each other the same. Oh, you did decide to? Yeah, well, I've sorted out his life insurance, Violet. So that's all right, bless him. I don't want him to go anywhere. But yeah, we probably would be some advantages to getting married. But I do love him. I don't know if I want to change my name, though. Can I keep my name? I think I can, can't I? So welcome. Oh, we've got 104. I love it when it goes over 100. How super. It says 104 people are here. And Alexandra from the sunny Algarve in Portugal. I know so many people who are living in Portugal now, which is cool. You hyphenated, Violet. Quite like that idea. Might do that. Thank you so much, Alexandra. And I hope to get to Portugal at some. I've been once. I went to Vila Moura many years ago, just after I split from my husband the summer after I went on holiday my own to Vila Moura. It was lovely. 4 days of peace and quiet. Really good. Oh, the decluttering story. I was just really grumpy, Jennifer, and but we got a lot done, actually. But I was just very snappy. But Bruce is just so tolerant now, because he knows his understanding. And I think what we tend to do for each other now is just go, well, I'm in a bad mood today. Just like, and accept that sometimes we're down here somewhere, aren't we? And we don't really, especially as women. I mean, lovely people. You know, I think most of you are ladies here. There's a few men here, but we do emotionally just seem to, I just randomly seem to go sometimes, and then sometimes I'm up here and sometimes I'm down there, and sometimes I just get out of bed the wrong side. And Jennifer, I just tell him, excuse me, so the decluttering is ongoing. You don't want to see behind this curtain behind me. There's a lot of it's there ready to go to the car boot or something. Yeah, I think you're probably right about intentions, really, and having a sense of, I don't know, like when I was dating, men used to say to me, what are you here for? That was one of the first questions. Like, are you here for a bit of, you know, or are you here for something long term, was kind of the question. And I used to say, well, I've not even met you yet, so I don't know. Like, you know, can we just meet each other and see how it goes? Some of them then promptly disappeared, which I can laugh at now, but used to do my head in back then. So where else do we want to go with this? So navigating our relationships is about navigating us. It's not about the other person. We don't need to change people. We don't need to make them different. We need to understand ourselves better. And understanding ourselves is about knowing that we have this system that's there to guide us. So when we're upset, when we're angry, when we're frustrated, when we're feeling like the other person just needs to stop it so we can feel okay, we are in a place of confusion. We're just regurgitating an old pattern of how we react to the world. That sadly has nothing to do with that person, really. It has to do with a relationship we had in the past. It's not to do with that person. And that's so important to see, because really, like I was saying, to see earlier, when we turn up to meet somebody and we turn up fresh and new and in the moment, in the present moment, and we just connect to that person, we're never going to completely get rid of the uncomfortable feelings. We're not going to get rid of that. They're going to come. But when we know what they are, when we know they're a state of mind indicator, not a state of the person sat opposite us indicator, we can navigate life so much easier. Got a lot in the comments that I've missed now because I've been chatting. Oh, thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you, C. Lovely. So the decluttering isn't finished, Jennifer. Oh, I'm hoping it will be someday before I die. Yep. So for Naz, everybody lies, I think, don't they? Not just men. We all lie sometimes. Anybody here in this room put their hand up and say they've never told a lie? Everybody's doing the best they can with the thinking that looks true to them. Now, we might not want to be with somebody who's like that, but we can also see them with compassion. But we all sometimes don't tell the truth. I'd say I don't cook and I'm not looking to me remarry. Quite like that, Violet. That's keeping him at a good old arm's length. You're gonna cut the wheat from the chaff by saying that, I think, aren't you? I'd watch out, Claudia, where you've said there about patterns. I think what we're looking at here is that our patterns are our thinking, our psychology, how we're relating to the world. They're not true. You know, that we might think there's a pattern of behaviour in somebody who isn't honest, but it's our pattern. It's what we've learned from the past. So we need to watch out for that, definitely. For now, I'd love to have a longer conversation with you about this thing with men. It would be really interesting, I think. Breaking the pattern. That sounds like a good recommendation, Violet. I've not come across that book. Yeah, I think if we're dating, we need to. It's good to know ourselves first, definitely. Well, I don't think you have to start all in, TJ. I would say it's a gradual process. It's not all going to happen now. So we can start. We just start to turn up with somebody fresh and new. And I think what's really nice about this idea of turning up fresh and new is that we can do that in our longer term relationships too. So I've mentioned before a lovely book called Right Now, by Steve Chandler. And one of my favourite bits in the book, which comes so nicely in with relationships, is a point when he talks about being more Dory, being more like the little fish in Nemo who's got a very short term memory, or a short term memory problem. Virtually no short term memory. So Dory turns up in every scene, and she just loves everybody. Because she's made of love, like the rest of us. She's made of love. So she turns up in every scene and she's in love with the character that's in front of her. She loves them. Because she's forgotten the story. She isn't carrying, she's forgotten the story of even that character in the past, and she's not bringing any other stories of, let's say it's a turtle. She's not bringing the stories of what turtles are like. Turtles are this kind of thing or that kind of thing. She's just turning up fresh and new. Made of love. And you all have that potential too. That's interesting. See, I am beginning to work with people who have ADHD, have that label. This understanding is transformational, no matter whether you are, because even if you're neurodiverse, you are still creating your experience in exactly the same way. You're still thought, mind and consciousness taking form. Thank you, Jane. I haven't done anything particular with it. Apart from, if I'm honest, not washed it much. I'm going to wash it tomorrow because we're going in the motorhome, and I try to leave it to the last minute and then wash it, because I don't wash it too often because it gets really. I like to go as long as I can in the motorhome with a clean head. Washing it in the motorhome is a faff. Anybody got any tips? See, you got any tips about washing your hair in the camper van? And getting it to, I've got some portable rechargeable straighteners, but they're a bit temperamental, to be honest. Just don't wash my hair. I think you're probably right, Rachel. I dry shampoo it quite a lot. Yep, I've got dry shampoo. Thank you, ladies, for the tips. Yeah, I think you're right, Elaine. I think expectation is huge. We're turning up. There's two sides of the coin to expectation. We might be turning up expecting somebody to. We might have high expectations. We think people should behave this way, that way, that way. That's our rule book. That's my Clare is right. Why isn't everybody else behaving in the right way? That I still hold quite dear, if I'm honest, but not quite as much as I used to. And then the other thing is that the other side of expectations is the fear, isn't it? Is the men are liars, men are like this, men who do that are like this. That thinking that there's some kind of pattern of behaviour that means something, and it just doesn't. That's like us thinking that we know what other people are thinking, and we just don't know what other people are thinking. So it's really it's really important to try to look towards, not to try. We're not about doing here, But I'll tell you what, you'll know if you're turning up with a load of expectations, because very soon in the interaction you'll start to feel uncomfortable. And this conversation is really not just about new relationships, it's about our current relationships as well. Both the ones that we love to be in, and the ones that are more tricky. And I would say that both of those have got better since I came across this understanding. Both my relationships with people who I absolutely adore and love to be with, and the relationships with the people who I find more interesting, shall we say. Like my fiance's ex. Definitely. We've got loads more comments. While I'm just having a look at the comments, hello if you've just arrived. I see we've got 124 people. It's the most I've ever had. How super cool is that? Thank you so much for being here. Let me know who you are, where you are, and there's lots going on in the comments. So if I miss your comment, I'm so sorry, but there's a lot whizzing up at the moment. I'm just trying to go back and have a little look. If you haven't come across me before, please do go and follow me. I'll probably be back at this time, because this is the biggest turnout I've ever had. So should we make this a weekly date? Might not be next week, because I am on holiday and I'm doing a big walk. So I'm hoping that we're going to get up really early, especially if it's hot, and do the walking like really early in the morning. But I've got to persuade Bruce that I'm right on that. Yeah. What do you think about that? I've got to persuade Bruce that he wants to get up early. Any tips, ladies? How do I persuade Bruce that he wants to get up early? We'll see. Yeah, ADHD is very interesting. No expectations, thank you, TJ. Yeah, trust and intimacy doesn't grow overnight, I don't think. We don't eat breakfast though. We don't eat breakfast, Natalie. We're fasters. We don't eat in the morning. We'll take some food with us though. Oh right, okay. I like those tips. Thank you. Swim in the lake, water with. Do you know what? Actually, we're going to be near the coast a bit, so maybe I can just get a shower on a beach shower somewhere. Wash my hair there. Oh, Jodie, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I heard something about a lady who'd had, I think she'd had a stroke, and I'm going to get the size of the brain wrong because I'm not a neurologist, but I think the left side of her brain was damaged, and she just forgot. She was like Dory, she just forgot it all, and she just was pure love. I mean, it didn't work in every situation because she didn't remember all sorts of things, but yeah, she just turned up full of love all the time because she didn't have all that stuff, all the stuff with her. Yeah, I think you might be right, Claudia, there, in terms of if somebody's really not treating you very well from the beginning, we can probably let them know. Let them go. Hello, Kim from New Orleans. Jane, I love you, whoop whoop. Violence with Bruce. Come on, he needs to go. Let's get the walking out of the way, and then we can just chill the rest of the day, can't we? Yeah, absolutely, TJ. We're all doing the best we can with the thinking that looks true to us. That is absolutely true. Oh, bless you, Jane. It doesn't sound awful. It doesn't sound awful. I can totally relate to that. Thank you, TJ. There's some fantastic comments coming through. It's absolutely fantastic session this. I'm really enjoying it. If you've come in late and you're thinking, what's this? What's going on here? This is a talk called Building Resilient Relationships with the Three Principles, and we've had this has been such a great session. I'm enjoying these more and more now that there's lots of comments and we can engage in a conversation, because it's just much more like, it's much more real. I'd love to get you all on Zoom one day. That would be such fun. We'd have a right old chat, wouldn't we? Maybe that's what I should do. But it's fantastic to have so many comments and so much interaction, because it helps me to form the session with things that people are actually interested in. So if you've just come in near the end. 132 people. That's wonderful. So if you're new to me, please go and follow me. on my profile, and then you'll find out about everything new that I've coming up, all the lives, all the free sessions, and my courses. So I've now got 3 courses on here: Calm, Balance and Clarity with Ease, Revealing Your Full Potential with the 3 Principles, and on a week tomorrow, on Thursday, Stress to Success, a 3 Principles approach to effortless productivity. Thanks, TJ. Thanks so much. I think it's because I've been talking all day. This is my 4th presentation today. It's my 2nd live, and I've done 2 other Zoom things today. One of them completely unexpected, but one of them a talk at a ladies networking event that I was expecting to do, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, this morning's was brilliant. I helped a friend out with some training on how to go live on LinkedIn, and because I do some live stuff there. But it was really cool, because I didn't know till about 10 hours before that I was going to be doing it, and it was really good. Isn't that interesting, Rachel and Jane and the other people who've talked about Alzheimer's and stuff? Isn't it interesting that there's some part of the brain that's not working in the same way anymore? When that stops working, we're reconnecting to who we really are a lot of the time, and people are seeing there's more childlikeness, and really that's what the 3 Principles it is, in that's the advantages of it. That what we're looking at is letting go of a lot of past stuff that we don't need. We don't need to go looking in the past to do that. We don't need to poke around. We just need to see what's happening in the moment, and over time it just makes sense that things fall away. And I would call that, over the last 3.5 years of me being in this conversation, is that things have just fallen away. They are no more because they've just fallen away. No, Claudia, I don't think we do. It's part of who we are, we think the way we think, we feel the way we feel, because we've been conditioned by our environment, but we don't need to poke around in it. Definitely not. So, lovely people, it's been absolutely fab today. I've really enjoyed it. So much interaction, so beautiful. And thank you so much and what I love about this is all the beautiful support that you give each other here as well. It's absolutely lovely. So I've got one more this week. I'm not doing tomorrow because I'm going to a ladies event thing, and where I'm speaking again. Thank you so much, Rachel. That's really generous. Donations are gratefully received. Thank you so much if you're able to make one. We've had a few in this session today, and they've been lovely. They really do support me to keep turning up on Insight Time. I keep sharing this understanding and keep helping people to have such amazing transformative experiences that this understanding brings about. So I have one more session this week, and that is an end to being triggered. That is going to connect so much to this session, so I'd love to see some more of you. It's actually at 8:08 in the morning, so British time, UK time, so it might be a bit early for some people if you're not in the UK, but there will of course be a recording of it to catch up on. So thank you so much for being here. Lots of love, everyone. Please do check out my courses, and message me as well, interact with me, ask me questions. It will, Rachel. It'll be perfect for Australia. I usually get a few Australian and New Zealand people turn up when I do it in the morning. Lots of love, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll hopefully see some of you on Friday morning. Please do contact me, message me, get in touch with me if you would like to have a conversation about this or something a little bit more. Take care, lots of love, and enjoy the rest of your week.